This is another sign of the times, an analysis, and a commentary. Donald Trump is going crazy. So, to ensure that the United States will always be led by a coherent, functioning president, the 25th Amendment provides for the prompt, orderly, and democratic transfer of executive power in the event the president is incapacitated, physically or mentally. Trump's tariff debacle, where he thrust out his chest, flung economic incoherence at the world, then flip-flopped only 2 days later, was the strongest evidence yet in a roiling sea of evidence that he is mentally incapacitated. Trump's tariff drama was so crazy he's either self-dealing or insane. But although they are not mutually exclusive, we'd prefer the former. We only wish that the rumors swirling in the media suggesting Trump's tariffs were a hustle, an insider scheme meant to enrich his backers, were true. Donald Trump, being a self-dealing crook, poses less danger to the world than him making no sense at all. Leaders of the European Union are too intelligent to sneer out loud at Trump's flip-flop on tariffs. Aware of his deranged lust for revenge, they are reluctant to utter the truth about his ignorance. But the world is aware, even if Americans aren't, that our president is deranged. Psychotherapist Dr. John Gartner, former Johns Hopkins University Medical School faculty, is so alarmed about Trump's cognitive impairment that he circulated a petition addressing it among thousands of psychiatrists, psychologists, and other credentialed mental health professionals. He wrote that Trump shows progressive deterioration in memory, thinking, ability to use language, behavior, and both gross and fine motor skills, adding that he felt an ethical obligation to warn the public and urge the media to cover this national emergency. At times, Trump struggles to even finish a sentence. When we're diagnosing dementia, what we need to see is a deterioration of someone's own baseline of functioning. What we see, but a lot of people don't appreciate, is that when Donald Trump was younger in the 1980s, he was actually quite articulate. He goes off on these ramblings where he is confabulating things, weird things, in which he'll talk about Venezuelans and mental hospitals, and then he'll talk about sharks and batteries, or the late great Hannibal Lecter and Silence of the Lambs. The doctor notes how Trump is losing his capacity for coherent speech. Mainstream media, including the New York Times, have also questioned Trump's mental state. In October 2024, the New York Times reported that Trump now uses more negative words than positive words compared to 2016, which can be another indicator of cognitive change, and he curses far more often than he did when he first ran, a trend that could reflect what experts call disinhibition, another sign of dementia. They cited a study by healthcare news outlet Stat that reports similar findings. Newsweek's article, Donald Trump Dementia Evidence Overwhelming, cites a New York psychologist who says Trump seemingly forgets how sentence began and invents something in the middle, resulting in an incomprehensible word salad, a behavior that is observed frequently in patients who have dementia. The Dementia Society notes that forgetting names and dates is normal for people who are aging, but confusing people and generations is a sign of advanced dementia. During the campaign, Trump confused Nikki Haley and Nancy Pelosi on 8 separate occasions and said he was running against Obama. He said his father was born in Germany when it was his grandfather who was born in Germany. With the assistance of other psychiatrists and credentialed mental health professionals, Dr. Bandy Lee wrote, "The dangerous case of Donald Trump. 37 psychiatrists and mental health experts assess a president near the conclusion of Trump's first presidency." In the book, experts came forward due to what they saw as their professional, moral, and civic duty to warn America about Trump's dementia. This duty, they argued, supersedes their competing professional duty of neutrality. Since then, more than 3,000 credentialed mental health professionals have added their signatures to a petition concluding that the president has probable dementia. Donald Trump, who is causing global destruction with his mindless tariff wars, now has the sole authority to launch nuclear weapons as the commander-in-chief. Evidence of his cognitive decline is everywhere. Mental health professionals have sounded the alarm and met their professional duty to warn the world about Trump's dementia. Congress now has a duty to listen to the professionals. Republicans on the whole have a duty to act. Section 4 of the 25th Amendment allows the Vice President and either the Cabinet or a body approved by law formed by Congress to jointly agree that the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. Democrats need to proceed under this clause, and scared Republicans need to join in before Trump commits another, potentially world-annihilating blunder. Again, in other words, Donald Trump is going insane. Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. And all these are more signs of the times.